প্রায় 5 ইয়ার্স হয়ে গেছে কাম করাম আমার লগর আরও কলিগ আছেন প্রায় 4 বছর 3 বছর ইলা আছেন বাট আমি ওপেনিং স্টাফে তারার লাগে ওপেনিং থেকে কাম করলাম তারার লগে এবং এই যে তারার লগে যে আমরা ব্যবহারটা সুন্দর অমায় স্টাফে আর ম্যানেজমেন্টের বোঝা যান না কেউ আমরা বস কেউ স্টাফ সবার মিলিয়ে সুন্দরভাবে কাম করলাম
অবশ্যই শরীফ ভাইলে কাম করতে আমার ভালো লাগে এবং তাই ফ্রেন্ডলি মানুষ যেগুলো সহযোগিতা লাগলে তাই ইয়া হেল্প করেন আর বিভিন্ন দরকার পাই আর কি আমরা
So it's great to see a clip that's fantastic and successful. A business person who's not just a person who's worked really hard, but a person who is a very successful entrepreneur. So it grants me great pleasure to introduce Sharif Islam to our show today. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to our show.
My pleasure.
So it's great to see us, a very successful business that you do. So tell me a little bit about it, what it is.
Okay, well, basically, it is it's a buffet restaurant.
Okay.
Right, to mention in the simplest way. But yeah, we do outside catering as well. But in a nutshell, it's a buffet restaurant with desserts. We specialize in desserts, which is hence the name Feast and Mishti. So have a feast and then have a Mishti.
Feast and Mishti. And as Sharif Islam explained, that mainly is a dessert place as well. But the good thing about this business is it doesn't cater for just one criteria, but it caters for many different types in his business. So let's ask him a few questions how he became successful today. So, Mr. Sharif Islam, how did you become very successful in your business today?
Well, the main thing would be I've got a very good team behind me. Okay, so my partners, in terms of family and stuff like that. So you need all that, and first and foremost, success comes from Allah the Almighty. How we started off was we looked at the location, we looked at the premises, and we looked at the people we're doing business with and our clientele as well. So who you will be providing the service. Providing everything matches and everything goes hand in hand. I don't see any business to not be successful. So that's pretty much what it is.
It's great. It's great to hear that you have loads of motivation behind you.
Yeah.
Obviously, you look at Allah as being an inspiration and a blessing to you as well. Alhamdulillah.
Definitely.
So, on that sense, what we're going to do is we're going to look at another clip of the employees and your friends that you call who work with you, and the people who make the things work in your place, really.
It's a whole big family.
Absolutely.
That's how we call it.
Family. Let's call them family. I think that's the right word for
100%.
them, definitely. So let's have a look at the screen and let's look at the next clip that we've seen of what they have to say.
আমাদের কোয়ালিটি বালা এবং সার্ভিসটা বালা খুব দ্রুত কাস্টমার সার্ভিস পাইলাই এবং বাংলাদেশের সব কিছু আছে একবারে মিষ্টি থাকি লাগাইয়া পরোটা লাগাইয়া এভরিথিং গরু মাংস হালিম এগুলা হালিম মাংস খুব ভালো পায় পরোটা লগে খাইতো এগুলো সব কিছু মিলে জিলাপি লাগাই মিলে
টাউনের মধ্যে আমরা যে একটা বাঙালি রেস্টুরেন্ট করছি এই রেস্টুরেন্ট ভ্যারাইটির আছে গ্রামীণ খানা আছে ভ্যারাইটিস আছে ও কারণে মানুষের মনে হইব দেশের কথা আর দেশের ঐতিহ্যটা তুলিয়া ধরতে গিয়া আমরা মেইন অ্যাকশন রাখবো অনেকদিন যদি কিছু কাস্টমার আইয়া টাকা দেয় থাকে অনেক কাস্টমার আছে এরা আমরা পরিচয় যায় সম্পর্ক হয়ে যায় আর সম্পর্ক খারাপ তারা দেখতে পারে না বিদায় এই কাস্টমারগুলোরে আমরা ধরে রাখতে পারলাম
So, it's very warming to see that obviously the people that work within your business specified a few specific topics really. So it's service,
Yeah.
quality, it's the teamwork that they do pretty much in how they do it. And they also said that you get your hands dirty as well at the same time. So
got to do that.
shall we find out obviously what it is that brings that service and that quality in Feast and Mishti today? So Mr. Sharif Islam, again, I'd like to ask you, what is it that you give so specifically that your service is at high quality?
Love.
Yeah.
We love our business and we love to serve. And mainly, majority of our customers are people who own restaurants. So these are people who are in the service industry already. So these are people who've done a good hard days of service, and they come to us. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays are the busiest days. Reason being is because most restaurant workers and owners, they have those days off. Saturdays, Fridays and Saturdays are the busiest days for them. So we love to serve. We love to acquaint with our customers. We build a relationship with them, and that's pretty much what's, we know the names, they know our names, and this is what it is. So if you don't love what you do, you shouldn't do it.
Absolutely. So to our viewers, hopefully you've pretty much catched all of that. It comes down to love and affection in what you do. It's pride, it's joy. It's not just joy, it's not just pride, it's the effort and the dignity and the respect that you get from your customers. So coming back to your business again, I'd like to ask you, when did you start the business and why this business?
Right, this particular one has been in service for the last 5 years. So, like I said, I've been in the restaurant trade. I've been in other trades as well, right? I like to call myself a jack of all trades, master of none, but jack of all trades. Haven't mastered anything quite, immensely yet. But yeah, so about 5 years now. 5 years we've been operating, and we cater, outside catering as well. We cater for parties and stuff like that. And what we like to say is when people come in, we'd like to say that we provide from starters to desserts. So from starters to desserts, and in between you got shakes and lassis and all kinds of grilled items. So you can't go wrong if you come to Feast and Mishti. There could be 5 people come in. Say for example you go to a kebab place, right? There's only kebabs available.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right, you come to Feast and Mishti, 5 friends come in, and we got on the menu, we got like friends meal and stuff like that, right? We got something called Feast Alone as well, so someone can just go by themselves. But you come to Feast and Mishti with 5 people, someone can have a cup of tea, someone can have some desserts, Mishti for example, kalajam, gulab jam, right? Or a Rash Malai, and then someone can just go for a whole, a full-on buffet. Right, and then someone else can say, well, you know what, I'm going to have some tandoori chicken. I don't feel like going for the buffet today, right? So because there's a lot of food, and when people leave, they say, we're full, and I say, well, I've done my job well then, because we don't want anyone to go home empty. So this is the concept is, and in the daytime, someone can come in, and the main thing is their pockets will not be empty so much.
Fantastic. To be honest with you, it's actually made me pretty hungry. To be honest,
you should visit.
Yeah, I must say I must visit one day, and hopefully our viewers who's been listening today and watching us, hopefully will be visiting your place as well. So, as a businessman, is there every business faces a difficulty?
Absolutely, yeah.
Have you faced any difficulty like this recently?
Oh yeah, we always face difficulties. You just have to overcome those difficulties. You fall down, you just got to get yourself up. I've got about 25 staff, 25 to 26 staff. It's a small company, right? And then you've got departments. Okay, so we got a Mishti factory right at the back. They just produce Mishti, right? Not only do we produce, you also supply. We're one of the license holders to supply Mishti to other premises. And then we've got our own, sort of food kitchen. And then you've got a bar in the front, which is not a bar with, alcohol and stuff, but we call it a bar counter because we
like a reception area.
Yeah, but we do that. It's like another kitchen, to be honest, because we, serve, chana, piazzi, all kinds of snacks. So you got quite a few different departments, and we've got allocated personnels on those departments. So you got the floor manager over there, you got the kitchen manager, you've got the Mishti section, you know, the chef and the manager. And then overall, I'll look after everything. When something goes wrong, then I'll probably jump onto someone. But otherwise, you know, everything goes quite smoothly up until now. But yeah, every business faces difficulties. And if it doesn't face difficulty, you're probably doing something wrong. You have to overcome it.
Fantastic.
You have to overcome it.
Well, thank you for concluding that in such a great way. And hopefully it's made yourselves understand as well how an overcome is not a difficulty. It's a part of a business. It's how you deal with that situation.
Yeah.
Now, for us and for everybody who come out there, for new people who are looking to do in a business, we wonder, can we do that? But we see these people who are successful. It hasn't happened overnight. So that's why I would like to come back to another question and ask you, you call it a family, you call it love, you call it a lot of affection, it's a unity within your business. But what type of boss are you?
Right. Okay. Well, like I said, and if you do call yourself a family, right, you've got to have authorities. Okay, authoritative figures. So the kind of management, there's, from my understanding and whatever I've studied, there's 4 types of management, right? One of them is called parentalistic management. Okay, I think it's parentalistic or paternalistic. Anyway, I think let's just call it parentalistic management, where you would consult with your staff. Okay, so something needs to be done. There's 2 ways. I could just say, well, you know what, it needs to be done, do it like this. Or I could say, well, this is something that needs to be done, how do we do it? So I consult with them and they'll give me some ideas, you know, because at the end of the day, they have to do the work. And if they do the work, they have to be happy with doing the work. So if any task, we got a cleaning schedule which starts from Thursday to Sunday. So we got, stages of cleaning. So before anyone starts cleaning, we say, you know what, have something to eat, have a cup of tea, you need to call home or something, right? And then how do we do that? And then they'll give us the ideas. You know what, Sharif bhai, let's do this. Let's move all the chairs today, right? Get the scraper. You know, some people have left chewing gums on the floor, for example. Yeah. Let's get all that off, and then we'll bleach the floor, and we'll close one department with a divider, and we'll do that, the chairs and the tables. So parentalistic management seems to work because you're consulting with them rather than just telling them, you know what, you do this, you do that, and people are not so happy, from my experience. So I think my father was a man. I'm sorry, I'm probably going off the topic here.
No, absolutely, yeah.
But since we're talking about family, my father was a man who used to consult with us. You know, all right, we've got a bride for your older brother. How do we go about doing it? You know, rather than saying, he was never a man just say, well, it's my decision. I've made it my mind up. You know, boom, and that's what is going to happen. So, and I respect my father a lot. He's passed away, but I take a lot from him. And I think maybe one of my, reasons of success is because I do, hold him as a role model.
And the good thing about any business is unity. It's not being a boss in a specific way, really. It's about dedication in how you deal with the people that work with you. So what I want to ask you is it must be a secret to your success.
Not so much a secret, but there is a philosophy that I follow when it comes to business, because business is not an easy aspect of life, right? A lot of businesses fail, and the reason they will fail will be because of the puzzles which you don't put together. Something that I follow, which is called the 4 W's, right? Okay, so I will mention it, right? So when it comes to the 4 W's, it will be who is one of them, who you do business with, right? Where, that's a key factor, where you're doing the business Absolutely. With, right? What kind of business you're doing, right? And when you start the business, because when could be a major factor as well. Like, for example, let's go, it's not in every places, but in Whitechapel or Tower Hamlets, we've got things happening every once in a while, right? So you just get that opportunity for that key time, and then provide that service, and you do the business. You provide the service, that right time. For example, we've got Mellas happening every once a year. you've got the crossrail that happening. So that's the big win. When that happens, we got to, sort of look at what kind of customers are going to come in and so forth. So these 4 W's, if you follow it, the main 3 are, who, what, and where you do the business, right? So these are quite important. And if you get those 4 or 5 things, I mean, people have different philosophies, right? But as long as you've got a kind of like a method, and if you get those things, in place, then it shouldn't go wrong. It shouldn't really go wrong.
Absolutely, and it's a great thing that you mentioned the 4 Ws, because it's actually something that they teach these days in business school. It's an actual way of marketing, promotion. It's the start of a business. So as you mentioned the 4 Ws, what I'd like to do is also ask you a little bit about your childhood. Because you seem to have the knowledge regarding the where, what, when philosophy.
Wow.
So it'd be great to hear for our viewers as well out there, our young generations who are looking to do something as well.
If we go back to that, my father came in the late 50s, right? I think he came on a ship or something, or some kind of vessel, right? So, and then we came in 1979, right? So this is the early 80s, right? So this is when I grew up, and there was a lot of let's say, ups and downs, racism, stuff like that. It wasn't easy growing up. So I went to school, and by the time I was in my teens, it would be the early 90s. Okay, that's when I started sort of work experience and getting the gist of the real world. So my brother and the family have been in the restaurant business from a very early stage, as most people were. And what he used to do to me was, he used to say, well, you know what, come for the weekends, okay? Come for the weekends. You're studying, that's fine, but come for the weekends and just learn what I do and do a bit of. You get some money, cash in hand, pocket money, if you like. So yes, so basically I went in the restaurant trade. So that was, apart from paper rounds, when I was 13, apart from that, that was one of the first thing I did. So went to the restaurant business, started in the kitchen, okay? He put me in the kitchen, so we used to peel potatoes and onions, okay? And didn't know anything about the business at all. They didn't know anything about the, So learned. I liked the food, okay, which probably got me interested a bit more. The food was brilliant. And then after a while, I got into, he said, you know what, you're a smart guy. Right, I like your dress sense and stuff like that. That's my brother and his partner. They say, you just come in the front, because you'd probably be good with the customers. And I kind of like clicked with the customers. So yeah, went in the front. They used to have 2 businesses in the same road at that time, okay? And so I started off in one of the business, and then they shift me to another one, which was a few doors away. And so I started off as a waiter, right? So I learned, most of the drinks, the dishes, because it's all new to me, right? Because most of the dishes are named after some kind of city or something in India, right? You got Madras, Kashmir, Ceylon, stuff like that, right? Chicken tikka masala, by the way, is not really Indian. It's not really Indian dishes. It's catered for the white people. So yeah, so if you talk about the childhood, how I learned about those things. Now, this is the way I picked up the Indian trade. Okay, so I was about 14 or 15 years old, worked in the weekends, picked up the Indian trade. Childhood was not that easy. It was quite rough. We used to hang around in West London. There were, loads of, I mean, if you know in the 90s, it wasn't easy growing up, okay? There was a lot of, fights and, racism and stuff like that going up. So between all that, we kind of like had to, hold on to, everything else. And so I learned the restaurant trade, and then I was studying at the same time. I also did a bit of sociology and also interior design, okay? So Feast and Mishti, most of it I designed it myself, it's probably a bit outdated now, but yeah, we're looking into developing, we actually looking at making it, extension, making it bigger.
So just going back to our viewers, and hopefully that's giving you an inspiration on how Mr. Sharif Islam has gone from grafting from a very young age and learning many scopes and being brought up in the 90s. I can say I've seen a little bit of that. I'm not going to give too much out, show my age, but definitely he has nailed it where he needs to nail. And talking about family and how family have been a great motivation to him as well. So I'd like to ask you, If there was a few tips that you could give to our future generation, what would they be?
Okay, well, one of the tips would be you've got to love what you want to do, right? Because that will make you want to do and do more, right? So I don't know how many people would want to go in the restaurant, business or the catering business. People are more academic now. People are, have higher aspirations and stuff like that. Restaurant business is something that, because I grew up with it, is something that I love. And there are other people that love. I mean, let's mention a few sort of Hollywood stars, like you got Sylvester Stallone, you got Arnold Schwarzenegger, and people like that. They earn millions, but what do? They open up a restaurant, right? These are restaurant owners, by the way, yeah. So it's something that you got to love. Tip-wise, do what you love. Be committed, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Give it your 100%, because if you don't give it your 100%, then you'll always have that regret that, maybe it could have been in such a way if I did, give it my 100%. And because I didn't do it, it didn't happen, So you'll always have that regret. Give it your 100%, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Move on to something else. But do what you like to do.
It's great to hear some inspirational thoughts and ways of doing things. It's about hard work. It's about putting your effort in 100%. So thank you to Mr. Sharif Islam again for coming on to our show, and hopefully he will rejoin us one day again on our show and give us some great tips. And we have a lot of things to look forward to as well in Feast and Mishti, about the expansion as well that Mr. Sharif Islam has told us today, and his other businesses. So to our viewers and to our young generation who was watching, I'd like to thank you all for coming, and assalamu alaikum.